an idea of what we're about here to someone who might not have been a student here.
Very good. All right, the next question comes from current SGO President Anna Cook. And she would like to know, this is a two-part question, what is something about yourself that makes you good at working in a team? Why do you think this is important when it comes to SGO? Go ahead.
Something that I kind of learned about myself back in high school actually was not to place blame on others. I just remember one time I was playing in a basketball game and I threw a pass on court and I expected my teammate to turn one way to receive the pass, but he turned the other. And I just erupted, and I just, at that point in time, after the game, I just kind of looked back and I said, that was really immature of me. And I think that something that you need to, a quality that you need to have to work on a team is to know your role, and sometimes your role might be to lead, sometimes your role might be to support others, but I think the biggest part about being a part of a team is just knowing the overall goal of the team and just working towards that. And sometimes you might have to bite your tongue, and other times you might have to speak up, but I think knowing the overall goal of the team is the most important thing, and working positively towards that goal is really important to success, whether it be on SGO, whether it be a sports team, or whether it be in any other work environment.
Jessica, and then Phil.
I think that my communication skills make me an asset to student government. I always ask something that I've done well and then something that I need to improve on or haven't done well, because I believe that when it comes to like student government and different clubs, in order to be successful, you need to have feedback, whether it be positive or negative, so that way you can improve. And I don't let that hurt my feelings. I take constructive criticism very well, and I use it to improve what needs to be improved and maintain what is already successful.
Growing up, I lived under a shadow from my brother, and I realized that when I would join a certain team, I kind of felt that I had no leadership skills, so then the team would suffer. But since I've come to Carroll, I've realized that I have skills, but they're in different areas than some people have. And I realized that when you're on a team, everyone has different skills, everyone has different strengths, and we have different weaknesses. And in realizing that and kind of growing up in that, I learned to appreciate it, and I've learned to see kind of past what someone is just doing on the outside, but looking at what their skills are, what their strengths are, what you can build upon, and kind of helping to encourage them. You're good at this, so this is what maybe you should do for our team. This is something that you're very good at, and I think that we could work together on this. Something that you might want some help with. If you do, this person's really good at it, go to them. So I feel like looking at the character is what's important.
Thank you, Phil. The next question comes from Quill staff member Allison Miller. She would like to know, what does the SGO mean to you? Jessica? And then Phil. And then me.
Last semester was my first semester at Carroll, and I wasn't really involved. I didn't really do much until I started coming into student life, and I started doing the leadership challenge. I got involved with CAB, but when I became a senator on the SGO board, I felt that my leadership skills were getting a lot better. It definitely helped me kick some of my bad habits that I had before I came here. I had responsibility to my peers and my fellow members on SGO. So I definitely think that I wouldn't be the person that I am today without my past leadership on SGO.
Actually, like what just said, since I've come here to Carroll, I've become a completely different person. And growing up in my leadership, I just wanted to give back to Carroll as much as I can. And being CAT president, you get to impact events here, but I kind of want to help with SGO more of impacting the actual students and listening to them and seeing what I can do to help them feel more like they're at home.
To me, SGO just kind of is the voice of the students. I know that every week at our meetings, we read the suggestions, and unfortunately, we don't get as many as we would like to, but I just think that being on the board of SGO and being a senator kind of allows us an opportunity to kind of speak out about different things that we might hear students talk about, from the day-to-day basis, and I just feel that our community here is important, and it's important for the students to come here to understand that, like I said before, this is not just a stepping stone, but this is somewhere where you can come and you can get experience and you can have opportunities. And I think that being the voice of, telling, the higher-ups of here at Carroll community what our students are looking for is kind of very important to me, and it's really the purpose of SGO.
On a very similar vein, what would you do if you were elected to the SGO board to make SGO a more visible entity to all students at Carroll? Alex?
I'd like to see an expanded web presence for SGO. I think that a lot of students would be more inclined to make suggestions or comments or what have you if there was a way to do it online than having to, come and track down someone from SGO and talk to them in person, particularly as busy as a lot of students are. And just to, update students on what SGO is working on and what's, on the way for later, and keep the student body more informed.
Just a way that I would kind of make it more visible to the students currently is just keeping up with the trends that we've started to make this semester. I know that Anna and Carly have both worked very hard on producing a Facebook and a Twitter account. And I think in today's society where a lot of people our age especially kind of use social networking as a way to kind of get their information, to kind of get their news, to kind of get their voices out there, that continuing to produce this stuff, such as the Facebook, such as the Twitter, and as Alex said, putting things online, is just a great way to kind of let students know that, like, we are here and we are here for you. And another thing that I would like to continue, or that I would like to see continue, is the SGO days, where we just go out and we just try to make our presence known to the students, where we just try to communicate with them and we try to get our faces out there and give them a name and a face to the SGO.